I'm Alex Garrett, and today we're going to release a podcast, a pretty cool conversation later today with Coach Gary Waters. You might remember him from the Rutgers years here in the tri-state area. I'll release that before tonight's Rutgers-Seton Hall matchup. But right now, I want to get into something that is very awful, and yet I don't know how to talk about it in the sense of I didn't really follow Grant Wahl's work, but it is tragedy, and he is the journalist that supported gay rights at the World Cup and was told to change his shirt that supported as much, the gay rights of those, not only in Qatar, but around the world. He wore a rainbow flag soccer shirt, basically, to the World Cup. And then, this was November 21st. And then he was dead this past Friday after the Argentine-Netherlands game. And here's the crazy part. Witnesses say there was no defibrillator as they were applying CPR. Where is the defibrillator at the Qatar World Cup? As one of the journalists wrote, why do they spend millions and billions and so much money on this, but don't have a defibrillator? And there are two things about this. Firstly, we should honor Grant Wahl's work and not jump into conspiracy. And we should take this as a lesson that if you aren't feeling well, like Grant Wahl talks about, then how do we work and stay healthy?
We're going to talk about each one of them. I am very excited. And I took some time off myself. We had 2 days here without games after 17 straight days of games. And my body, I think, told me, even after the US went out, dude, you are not sleeping enough. And it rebelled on me. And so I've had a case of bronchitis this week. I've been to the medical clinic at the media center twice now, including today. I'm feeling better today. I basically canceled everything on this Thursday that I had and napped, and I'm doing slightly better. That you can probably tell in my voice that I'm not at 100% here. Hopefully I will not cough during this podcast. I'm coughing a lot. Everyone's coughing here. This is by no means limited to me. Like, so many journalists have got a crazy cough. It sounds like a death rattle sometimes. The only thing that's surprising to me, actually, is there isn't that much COVID here. I thought there might be a real issue with that. We're not really seeing COVID cases. We're just seeing a lot of general sickness, coughing, colds. And I can't wait to be on the other side of what I have, but I am going to be ready to go. I'm attending on Friday the Argentina-Netherlands quarterfinal. Very excited for that. And
oh my gosh, how chilling is that to hear that from Thursday's podcast of football with Grant Wahl? But then in his Substack, he wrote about how they gave him cough medicine and cough syrup, and I have to wonder, if everybody's getting sick there and maybe getting treated, why? And I'm sorry, I know I said we're not getting conspiratorial, but what was in that cough medicine? What did they give him? After all, he has exposed the labor issues going on with migrant workers dying while trying to get the World Cup in order. There's been concession stand failures. It's been a mess at the World Cup. It's been a mess, and they're trying to glorify Qatar, which I don't understand in general. And I think Eric Wahl, the brother of Grant Wahl, should really get into investigating this, because the fact is, if it's found some role and responsibility was had by the Qatar government, you should sue Qatar. And you should sue FIFA, really. You should sue FIFA for, letting Qatar host this thing. If this is the case. An American journalist has died at the World Cup. That should infuriate everybody today. Conspiracy, not conspiracy, the Qatar dude, not, all that aside, an American journalist is dead at the World Cup. And he's the only journalist to die, by the way. That's very, very strange. He's the only journalist to die. Actually, he's really the only person to die at the World Cup. Was it because he spoke out? Was it because he was sick? I hope we get to the bottom of this. Because if we can spend so much time getting Brittany Griner out of that prison, then we can certainly as hell stand up for another American and find out why he died on another country's soil doing the job he loves as a soccer podcaster, a soccer journalist, a beloved member of the U.S. media. If we can spend time freeing one American from a Russian prison, then again, we sure as hell could find time to investigate the foreign soil. I don't care what blood money gets exchanged between the Saudis and the U.S. and whatnot. I don't care. We call these people an ally. For what? For what? An American journalist has died at the World Cup. That should anger you. That should infuriate you. That should, despite all the glitz and glamour of the World Cup, that should really make you mad and wonder why Qatar got the damn thing in the first place. Why it got the World Cup in the first place. Very strange how that all worked out. Billions and billions, and there's no defibrillator? According to People magazine, there's no defibrillator there to revive an American journalist? Well, any journalist, really, but a defibrillator? To revive anybody that are in it? No way. That is so strange. Witness to Grant Wahl's death says there was no defibrillator. We kept expecting it to come. New York Times correspondent Josh Glancy wrote. Or the Sunday Times. He wrote, as such, why wasn't there a defibrillator? That was the question we kept asking each other as the media pumped and as the medics pumped and pumped to no avail. At this $1 billion state-of-the-art stadium, which has a VIP suite so lavish it includes a bedroom, which will host the World Cup final, why was there no defibrillator on hand? Why is Grant Wahl the only journalist to die? Why is Grant Wahl the only American to die over there? Someone answer me this question. I know I said at the top, don't be conspiratorial, but now that I think about it, someone has to be held accountable for this. Now that I keep reminding myself an American journalist has died, of course someone should be investigated. Like Eric Wahl is calling for. Like the U.S. MNT is mourning right now. I don't think they called for it in their statement, but this has to be investigated. It was very shocking on Friday to get the notification. American journalist Grant Wahl dies at the World Cup. What? So again, I ask, he was getting treated at the clinic. The clinic obviously knows who Grant Wahl is. He knows that security told him to change his shirt. He knows that he's written about. They know who he is. Did he go into the wrong clinic? Was something fed him to kill him? There is speculation to be had about this. But I don't want that to take away the fact that he's dead. We have to mourn the person, then investigate. This jumping to conclusion thing that I saw very early is sad. Because it takes away from who he was. He was a beloved husband to a wife of 21 years, by the way. And she herself is a doctor. That's right. She herself, Dr. Celine Gounder, Wahl's wife of 21 years, shared a statement on Twitter about the complete shock she felt hearing about the news of his death. She's in shock. The world's in shock. And we have to get to the bottom of this, Joe Biden. What if this was another Jamal Khashoggi incident? What if this was a journalist for his speaking out and gets killed? This doesn't seem accidental. And I know the World Cup people, the people doing the commentating and everything, they can mourn. They can say, look at the nice setup, but you'll never see them question it. That's why independent podcasters, independent voices exist to say maybe the thing they're thinking, but because they've sold out to Qatar, they can't say it. That's what it is. These journalists on Fox and the company Fox and anybody covering this has sold out to Qatar. So they have to keep quiet and stop speculating. But that's why the independent voices exist who are not sold out, who are not afraid to say what even those on TV are thinking, but they can't say that. We will say the loud part here at Alex Garrett Podcasting. We will. We will question why Grant Wahl was killed while remembering the person he was. Awful, awful. All right, Coach Gary Waters' interview going to come up right near, the Seton Hall game, and then Seton Hall Rutgers rematch, rivalry continued. And then tomorrow, once I get some audio from the stream, I'm going to recap for you my weekend at the Henry Viscardi School Sportsmanship Tournament. But let's not forget Grant Wahl, the person, but investigate why he's no longer with us just 2 days after being treated at the clinic, or just a few days after being treated at the clinic, then going to see in Argentina, Netherlands, and dying at the press suite. Something's got to be found out about that. And I hope we get, as Americans, to the bottom of it in defense of a family that's mourning and an American that's lost his life on foreign soil. We'll talk to you soon here on Alex Garrett Podcast.